Hey friends, welcome to a new video of kind of vlogs. As you see, we outside. I'm outside with a little baby. He is just chilling with me, and it's time for a story time. I know it's windy. I'm sorry. Lighting in my room isn't amazing. Look at these dogs trying to come for me. But I promised that I would post every other week. I've decided on Thursday. It's Thursday, so here we are. Thank y'all for keeping me accountable. My friends were texting me, you better post. So here I am. It's going to be a little shaky, but we're doing this. So let's get into it. It's time to go on a walk in beautiful Huntington Beach, California, as I tell my story of how I became a circuit rider. My journey started in 2019 when I first got to meet circuit riders, but it wasn't until 2022 that I officially joined staff, that I officially became a circuit rider. Let's just say it like that. Which, first of all, it caught me so by surprise and so off guard because I know that 2020, like COVID year, was hard for a lot of people. Let me tell y'all, 2022 for me was such a hard year. It was filled with so much loss, so much grief. And I just felt like I was in a constant battle, like fighting for my life, my mental health, my sanity. Like every time I thought things would slow down, become easier, there would just be another hit, there would be another loss. And I just had to navigate through that. So when I got the green light from the Lord to do circuit riders, to become a rider, it caught me so off guard because I wasn't expecting it. It was also so strange for the season that I was in. So I met circuit riders in 2019. I've hosted them. I went to some of their stops and I did some of the summer schools that they have hosted, which first was called 21 Project. And then it became CR Schools, the one that still exists now. So between me meeting circuit riders for the first time and me deciding to join circuit riders, I was just living life, working as a gymnastics teacher, working customer service, doing ministry at my home church. So leading worship, kids ministry, translating. I need y'all to know that being a PK means you've done every ministry possible because wherever there's a need, that's where you'll help and that's where you'll step in. Guys, I don't know why, but it's so hard to walk and talk at the same time. If you caught it, you caught it. Okay, anyway, so the summer of 2022, I went back to England to do a CR school, which was like 3 days. You're just getting so much truth. You're getting Bible, you're being equipped, you're being empowered, you're being activated. If y'all get the chance, y'all should do a CR school, CRX. It will change your life. Trust me, because that's literally what happened for me. Um, but they have launched this ministry called Black Voices. And what we do is we go across different HBCU to preach the gospel, to activate people. Like I didn't realize how much I needed someone saying, you can do that. Like that plan, that idea that you have, the Lord gave it to you for a reason. So start walking it out, start working it out, and start make things happen because the Lord doesn't just give us things so we can hold it tight to us and do nothing with it. It's with a purpose. And that's what we do as Black Voices. Like we go across university campuses, we preach the gospel, we invite people. Ooh, something fell. We invite people into living a surrendered life for Jesus, whatever that might look like. And that year, for the first time, they were planning on doing a Black Voices track, which I love because I love their music. I love their music. Like there is a song called "There Is More," and it starts with, "I couldn't have imagined what a simple yes could bring. Spend my life waiting, then you came in suddenly." And for me, I always felt like there was more, but I didn't really know what the more was. And the thing that attracted me to circuit riders is that I felt like they were living in the more, right? So yeah, unfortunately, that year the Black Voices track didn't happen. But the leaders were so set on like, no, we still want to gather all Black people who are doing the CR school and just have a little sit down, just hear their hearts and dream about what Black Voices Europe could look like one day, you know? You can dream. And it wasn't until we had this sit down moment at a table and we were just sharing about our experience. It wasn't until that moment that I realized that I'm a first generation born in Europe. Isn't it crazy? Like, my parents are not born in the Netherlands. They are born in Curacao and Suriname. Look it up on the map. Y'all should go there on vacation. It's amazing. And so much of us were PKs, so we know what it's like to be in ministry, but then feel like there is so much more. And as we were processing and talking, I'm like, because when I hear the name Black Voices, to me, it sounds like I'm a Black person that has something to say. And up until that moment, I didn't feel like I had the authority to say something as a Black woman to other Black women specifically. Like, if you would say, go talk to women, people your age, it's different. Yeah, because like when you hear the name Black Voices, to me, it sounds like Black people have something to say. And I do feel like the Lord gave me a voice and that I have stuff to say. But to me, I never felt qualified to speak to like Black people specifically. Like, you can ask me to talk to women, no problem. But if you would ask me to talk to Black women specifically, I'm out. Because yes, I am Black. I have never really experienced racism. My parents are together. My life has been fairly easy. But in that moment, I was seated at a table with so many people that felt like there was more. And the Lord challenged me. And He said, are you willing to be the example that you've always wanted? And I'm like, of course I want to be the example that I always wanted to have. Like, not because I couldn't have it means that I can give it to someone else, you know? And He's like, okay, bet. That means that you join circuit riders. And I'm like, excuse you? You mean like hosting an event whenever they come? Like, what do you mean? It's like, no, it means that you will move to Huntington Beach, California, quit your job, lay down your life, and become a full-time missionary. I'm like, dang, the way they've inspired me by coming here, why wouldn't I want to inspire others? So as you do, you discuss it with your friends who you need good friends. Because all my friends were so on fire for Jesus and heard the Lord so well. They were like, you should do it. Go for it. And in my brain, I'm going through all these scenarios like, who is going to pay for all of this? What will my family think? Is this even a sustainable lifestyle? And all those things. If you hear a baby, I want to walk with Hudson. Is this even a sustainable lifestyle? And just talking and praying through it with my friends, it was like, we have this saying, we say His will, His bill, meaning that if the Lord wants you to do something, He will provide. And I feel like I can now say that I have a testimony about that, because after we had that sit down moment, we had our last evening session, and I went up to one of the leaders and I'm like, hey, I feel like I'm supposed to go to Huntington Beach, California, be part of Circuit Riders and Black Voices. And he's like, okay, bet, let's make it work. I was in for a ride, okay? I wasn't prepared. If I would have known the details beforehand, I'm not sure if I would have done it. But that's why the Lord doesn't tell us everything. That's why we see in part, we hear in part, because the Lord knows what we can handle. To that leader, I told him, he said, okay, let's make this work. I went back home. I told my parents, this is what I feel like doing. They first were kind of like, you ain't going anywhere. But then also they taught me to trust God, to follow His words, and to walk in His ways. So I'm like, I have to go. I'm going. Within a week, I quit my job. I was like, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, I'll do it. So I quit my job. Mind you, I didn't have a full plan yet of what I was going to do, the date, but I just kept on saying, in October, I will be in California. Hey guys, sorry, Hudson didn't like to be in the stroller anymore. It's a quick intermission. Here is cute little Hudson, one of the boys I get to watch in the season. So I went back. I quit my job, didn't know how I was going to pay for the housing, school fees. I didn't have a full plan on whatever I was going to do there. I just knew that this is the place that the Lord had ordained for me in that season. So I was going to do everything within my power to be able to go there. Quit my job. I started spreading the word because there is no way that you can make it all by yourself. Like me making the decision required me to have the right people around me who would support me, who would encourage me, and who would keep on pushing me, you know? So, guys, walking with a baby was tiring. I'm getting tired, all right? Um, anyhow, the fees for just lecture phase were between 3,000 and 4,000, maybe 4,500. I'm not sure. Somewhere in there. And within a month and a half, I had the funds, which is crazy because I wasn't planning on coming. So my job ended up paying for most of it with all the vacation hours that I had left that were going to be paid. And the rest I fundraised. Dang, English is hard. Which is amazing. Like within a month and a half, I had enough for lecture phase. And this was just my first step of faith. This was my first step in learning to trust the Lord more, to trust Him better. The Lord had also already provided a visa for me, so I didn't need to apply for a visa. I could just buy a plane ticket and come. So within a month and a half, I had enough money to come out here. I had all the necessary paperwork and I made it to HB, which is insane. And as we went on tour, I had $5 spending, which is not enough to feed yourself for 2 months. But somehow, between me leaving the house and me going to the airport to start tour, someone gave me just enough money to eat on tour, which is crazy. And I know this story time was a little bit all over the place, but I just hope that after hearing my story, that you guys know that the Lord has so much more for you and that He will provide. Like, I have yet to see Him fill me. And it's not always going the way I plan it to go. It's not always easy, but it is so worth it. Like, the provision for the things that you have is already there. But the Lord is just waiting for laborers who are ready to say, okay, coach, like, put me in. I'm ready. And I did that with a simple yes. And just an example of how you sometimes can think that it's so insignificant for others what you're doing. A year later, so 2023 in August, circle moment for me. I was staffing CR school for the first time. And I was leading an outreach group and I was talking to one of the girls and I told her my story of how I came to HB within a month and a half. Like, I just went up to this leader, told him, quit my job, made the moves, and now I'm here. Within 2 months of that moment of me having a conversation, I see her here in HB. And she tells me, because you told me your story, I felt like I could do it. So thank you for sharing. It can look so insignificant sometimes, or just like it's something for us, but the Lord wants to do so much for us. So don't be afraid to share your faith. Don't be afraid to share your journey as I'm doing right now. It's ghetto sometimes. It's hard sometimes, but it is worth it. This was my second video. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.